Thomas the Tank. That's a kid show, right?
Straight for me!
Today, we're going to look back at a very traumatizing episode of Thomas the Tank. The sad story of Henry. Oh, and by the way, this bandana, my hair's now going through an unruly pirate phase due to it not being cut for 6 months, so please forgive that. Thomas the Tank has been around for ages, but this TV show started in 1984. Now, I was actually quite scared of this show. I love trains, but the quirky, sudden expressions of the tank engine faces I found really creepy, and I actually hid behind the sofa. Yet I own these all on videos, so I don't know if it was a form of self-punishment, because I love the show, but also was terrified by it. And even this theme tune, this amazing theme tune, used to send a few shivers down my spine. The first 2 seasons were narrated by Ringo Starr of the Beatles fame. Yes, the Fab Four's drummer narrated 2 seasons of Thomas the Tank. Who would have thought?
Once, an engine attached to a train was afraid of a few drops of rain. It went into a tunnel and squeaked through its funnel and wouldn't come out again. The engine's name is Henry. His driver and fireman argued with him, but he would not move. "The rain will spoil my lovely green paint and red stripes," he said.
To be fair, he's got a good point, as any Instagram influencer will tell you. Looks are everything, and he's a shiny little train.
The guard blew his whistle till he had no more breath and waved his flag till his
Henry
arms ached.
is just
But
so
Henry still stayed in
stubborn.
the tunnel
He
and blew
refuses
steam
to
and
come
red
out.
Stripes for you. Then along came Sir Topham Hatt, the man in charge of all the engines on Sodor. They call him the Fat Controller.
Now, the politically incorrect Fat Controller has plumply walked off our screens and has recently been replaced by Charubula. This is great for diversity, but it's sad that we've lost an iconic tubby character.
"We will pull you out," said the Fat Controller, but Henry only blew steam at him. Everyone pulled except the Fat Controller, because, he said, "my doctor has forbidden me to pull."
That old chestnut Fat Controller. You're just work shy, mate.
But still Henry stayed in the tunnel. Then they tried pushing from the other end. But he didn't help. "My doctor has forbidden me to push," he said. They pushed and pushed and pushed, but still Henry stayed in the tunnel.
They try various different methods to get Henry to come out of the tunnel, but he is having none of it. So Thomas tries to remove him, which is quite funny because he's the shortest, most tiniest of all the trains out there.
But still Henry stayed in the tunnel. Eventually, even the Fat Controller gave up.
Now, the Fat Controller threatens him, but Henry just rolls his eyes. Like, what's the worst they can do?
"We shall take away your rails," he said, "and leave you here for always and always and always." They took up the old rails and built a wall in front of him so that Henry couldn't
Now, as
get
they
out
brick
of
up
the
the
tunnel
wall,
anymore.
he looks more and more depressed the higher it goes up. as they slowly seal him into his own doom.
All he could do was watch the trains rushing through the other tunnel. As time went on, Edward and Gordon would often pass by. And Gordon would say, "Poop, poop, poop, serves you right."
Now, Henry is trapped in his little prison, forced to watch his friends go past. And of course, there's nothing like a little bit of ribbing when you're feeling massively depressed about being in a hole.
Poor Henry had no steam to answer. His fire had gone out. Sudden dirt from the tunnel had spoilt his lovely green paint and red stripes anyway. He wondered if he would ever be allowed to pull trains again. But I think he deserved his punishment. Don't you?
No!
Now, surely the train company have realised they've made a massive mistake. They're going to help him, right? They're going to get him out? Now watching that was actually quite traumatising. Seeing those sad eyes trapped in that tunnel, it kind of makes me feel almost like being buried alive or paralysed. It's really not nice if you're a flashy train and then you not only get the track taken away, you literally get bricked into a tunnel and there's nothing you can do about it. You don't have hands, you've got... it's just really sad. And this show is designed for very young children, and even as an adult, I do feel a bit of tinge of sadness seeing that face and just seeing the remorselessness of the other trains and literally just abandoning him in there for what could be forever. Now, this isn't the only episode which has a few very strange but overly harsh endings to characters.
Until one day, manager said he was going to make him useful at last. He turned him into a generator. He's still there behind our shed. He'll never move again.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Duke was alone. "Oh well," he sighed, "I'll go to sleep. It'll help pass the time." Winter torrents washed soils from the hills. Trees and bushes grew all around. You wouldn't have known a shed was there, let alone a little engine asleep inside.
Now, because I was really worried about Henry, I thought this is a horrible fate, but as I made this video, I actually discovered that there is a follow-up sequel episode where he is eventually released out from his prison. We don't know how much time has passed, and he's not actually released because they think they've made a mistake. He's released because he's helping someone out. Now, if they'd have just made him a nice little umbrella or a cover for his paint or promised him a new paint job, everything could have been resolved. But instead, that possibly forever fate in that tunnel probably made a lot of kids sad out there. And I don't know what the moral of the story was. Maybe it is, don't be too vain, don't be too flashed, or you'll be stuck in a tunnel forever and we won't let you out. I don't know what they were thinking. But anyway, it was great watching this episode back, and it's kind of helped me with my previous fear of Thomas the Tank and the quirky faces by replacing it with a new fear of being trapped in a tunnel. Anyway, over and out. Let me know in the comments if there is a TV show you'd love me to review, and if not, bring on the vaccines. Let's get back to normal, and I'll see you when it's a bit sunnier.